Despite the clear military realities on the ground, there is another logic. The military actions must lead to the defeat of Russia. Therefore, what you're seeing now is an ongoing war of the West against Russia until the last Ukrainian. This is something that leaves us no other option but to continue the aims of our SMO militarily. The Ukrainian people are suffering from this. They're being used by the West and the criminal Ukrainian regime as cannon fodder. The fact that the West is not interested in a political diplomatic settlement of the Ukrainian crisis has been confirmed by the results of the NATO Council meeting on the 29th and 30th of November in Bucharest. By expanding deliveries of weapons to Kiev, the West is confirming its desire not only to have a further escalation of the conflict, but to destabilize the situation in Europe as a whole. It is now becoming clear that the uncontrolled pumping of weapons to the Kiev regime is becoming a global problem, without having an actual impact on the situation on the ground.
President Putin's escalating barrages on Ukraine's infrastructure are evidence that he has no genuine interest in negotiation or meaningful diplomacy. Instead, he is trying to break Ukraine's will to fight by bombing and freezing its civilians into submission. But he will not succeed because Ukraine is fighting for its freedom and for the future of its children. And we will do everything in our power to keep hope alive in Ukraine.
Distinguished colleagues, we harbor no illusions about Russian readiness for peace. For the time being, it is a militarized and brainwashed society ruled by war criminals and educated with hatred. As long as they have resources, they will continue to attack Ukraine, global security architecture, and the international order based on the UN Charter. Moscow must be deprived of its ability to produce missiles, to finance military activities in Ukraine, to threaten the world with the saber rattling. We encourage responsible and peace-loving nations to continue seeking relevant opportunities to deprive Moscow of fossil fuel revenues used to finance the war. In this regard, the decision to cap the price of Russian oil is a first step in the right direction, although the upper limit requires further adjustments. It is completely useless to beg Moscow for peace or to appeal to their common sense. Moscow can only be forced into peace, and this is the only language they understand and respond to. As soon as this strategy is applied by all, sustainable peace, as well as the restoration of respectful principles of the UN Charter, will be within reach.